You good and fried? Okay. Good afternoon, I'm Kendra Drohan.
Hi, I'm Amelia.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Welcome.
I brought my cover letter and my resume to this interview.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm good, how are you?
Excellent. Excellent. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions.
Alright.
Just relax. Everything's good. So first of all, how would you describe yourself?
I would describe myself as someone who is very confident, very outgoing, very observant, and I'm a very inspired person.
Inspired.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Do you consider yourself successful?
What do you mean by successful?
However you define success.
I would say so. I'm going to a good school right now. I have good education. I'm motivated to get into my dream job, which is right here. So I would say I'm a pretty successful individual.
Excellent.
And the fact I got an interview with you.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Tell me, looking at your resume, what was the biggest compliment you ever received from your boss at Michael's?
I would say the fact that I'm hardworking and I do my job properly.
Properly? What would you say is properly?
Properly is like I give good customer service. I make sure all of the customers are happy. They don't go out of our stores miserable or disappointed or anything like that. They're happy. They had a good experience at Michael's and they have what they needed.
Okay, fantastic. Keeping that going, give me an example of a time when you dealt with a difficult customer and how you handled him or her.
Well, one of this customer did not understand a certain policy of ours because what one of our policy is that when they're returning an item and they don't have their receipt, we have to take 20% away from it. Mm-hmm. And the customer did not understand it, so I politely, slowly helped them understand the fact that because Michael's gives coupons, and we don't know if they used a coupon on that certain item, we need to verify that they might, but we don't want to take like 40% or 30% away, so we go in between, which is 20%.
20%, I see.
Yes.
So you explain that to them, and how did they react?
Excuse me. They were disappointed, which I could understand because it's basically taking away money. But at the same time, they understood, and to make them a little bit happier, I kind of gave them a bit of help for their next purchase. So I gave them about 40% off their next purchase.
Oh, with a coupon?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Which made them a lot happier.
That's good.
They came back, which is the main thing.
Good, so you know how to deal with people.
Yep.
Beautiful. Now, which parts of being an investigator do you think will be the most challenging for you?
Basically, I think the most challenging for me, for an investigator, is basically keeping up the image of an investigator, because I think many people think of a man as an investigator, not a woman.
Alright, what would you define as image?
Well, when I think of like most investigators that I've talked to, most of them are very tall, very broad shoulders, and of course they're a man.
So physical?
Physical.
So keeping up the physical?
Pretty much.
Okay, so physical meaning how you dress and how you look, or your physique?
I would say more it's the fact that I'm pretty skinny, so I will admit a lot of people don't know that I have muscle. And in that case, a lot of people might look down on me because of that.
Oh, but so keeping up your status.
Yes, would probably be my hardest.
Alright. And what do you think will be the most difficult decisions to make on this job?
I think with most decision making when it comes to being an investigator is that you have to be there during the time. I can't just make up a situation and say, just automatically, I would make the decision. It's like saying if if there's a case where maybe a woman accidentally killed her husband because he was abusing her or something like that. Can I make that decision right now, or would I let the
moral
court?
decisions?
Yeah. I'd let of course I would have to take the person in, but I would let the court decide that.
Oh, okay. So, knowing where you stand. Okay. How do you think your education in general arts and science and experience with retail and the food industry will benefit you in this career?
Well, the thing is with the retail, it actually helped me understand how a lot of people think and the values of many people, what many people have, what they need or something like that. And with general arts and science, it's given me the education of more than just a narrow-minded, narrowed education, just one thing. Instead, it's given me careers, it's giving me biology, it's giving me
so you know
math, it's giving me English, all of those kind of education. So it all helps in different ways in this field.
Okay, excellent. Now, why should I hire you?
I guarantee you will not find anybody more motivated or inspired to do this job than I am.
Okay.
To be very honest, I've been wanting to be an investigator ever since I was probably 13 years old.
All right. Do you have any questions for me before we finish?
If I was to be hired, what kind of step would I take next?
If you were to be hired, the next step would be to fill out the applications to ensure that you're part of the company.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to provide crucial information about yourself, and you'd have to answer a few quizzes as well, just so we can see where you stand on some issues.
All right. And what kind of firm does your company mostly look at? Is it mostly private, or
yes.
is it more criminal?
Ours is definitely a private firm. We do occasionally get criminal cases,
Yes.
but because we have private investigators, it depends on what cases are offered to us.
All right. And if I were to be hired, will I hear from you? When will I hear from you?
You'll hear from me within the next week.
Excellent.
Excellent. Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Go